Hello, everyone. Welcome to Bangers, Bops, and Banter. This is episode 37. I'm one of your hosts, Joe. We also got my co-host here, Brendan.
Hi, I'm the co-host, Brendan. It's just us again. 2 weeks in a row. I don't even remember if this has happened ever. It's
Maybe.
just us for 2 weeks in a row.
I don't know. It's kind of uncomfortable.
I don't mind it.
I don't mind it.
It makes it go by a lot quicker because we don't get distracted talking about, I don't know,
Madagascar
and stuff.
Yo,
Madagascar.
This is a really funny joke in Madagascar too.
There really is. There really is, Joe. I never heard it before, I'm sure.
Are you sure? Like I can recite it if you want.
Oh, I would love that.
Okay, so in Madagascar too, you see the penguins are flying. We're not gonna do this again. I'll do it next week.
Please. Actually, I feel like they've heard it before, but
yeah, I know. Anyway, we got a fun show coming up. We're going to first talk about some music and movie news. Some not so good things happened this week.
Oh, no.
But, then afterwards we're going to be talking about Orc by the OCs. Cool little album. And then finally, we're going to talk about the film Battleship Potemkin. I hope I said that right.
I think you did.
Okay, good. Good start. Probably not mispronouncing the film name. Let's jump into it. Let's start with some happy, fun news. Marilyn Manson has been accused by several women of abuse.
Oh no.
Dude, that was
honestly
very good.
That's. I mean, like, don't like that. But,
yeah, I don't like it either. Abuse is not good.
It's really not.
What? I don't know. Reaction is like, I don't like that. Like, yeah, it's bad.
You know, if I was Marilyn Manson, I wouldn't do that.
You know, if I were Hitler, I simply would not have killed millions of people.
It's that easy.
So a bunch of accusations came out against him. He was dropped by his label and from the TV shows he was on. There's also been accusations of like sexual harassment from him and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And also, probably most depressingly, Corey Feldman accused him of mental and emotional abuse.
Oh,
it's pretty fucked up.
Yeah,
poor Corey.
Is. Like, I do honestly feel bad for Corey Feldman. Like, you look at his history and like him as a child actor and stuff like that. It's like, oof.
Yeah. Next in very happy fun news, we have Morgan Wallen, who has been suspended indefinitely from his label, and his music has been removed from radio stations because their video surfaced of him like using racial slurs. Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. Bad look. Funnily enough, really, really cool stuff. People are really cool. His sales went up 339%.
What? I mean, yeah. I guess like his name is now everywhere in circulation, so
and people are like, I don't care that he did a really racist thing.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, fun. And then next, actually, in fun news, is this fun? I don't know. It's like maybe it's fun, but also I'm like kind of dreading it at the same time. Weezer announced another album that they plan to follow up Van Weezer, and they say it will be inspired by Elliott Smith. That'll be interesting.
That could be interesting, yeah.
I don't understand. Like, that does not compute for me. Elliott Smith and Weezer.
I mean, Van Weezer isn't.
Not.
I guess that's far more like pop appealing, and they're okay with that.
Well, Van Weezer's like, it's a Van Halen record essentially.
Yeah, it's like hard rock.
I mean, I guess like sort of, because like Weezer has like Pinkerton's pretty emo, and like Elliott Smith's is kind of like in that same vibe, like emo folk music.
Yeah, Elliott Smith is like a lot more mellow than
and depressing.
Yes, that too.
So yeah, I guess I'll be interested. I don't know. I said this in our Weezer review, which will come out soon. I promise. I swear to God, I'll get on it. But Weezer are maybe the most unpredictable band in music.
I think they're up there.
This kind of proves it. All right, let's move on to movie news. The Golden Globes.
Okay.
The nominations have been announced. Does anyone give a shit about the Golden Globes?
I don't know. I guess. Not really here in America. I feel like they're bigger elsewhere in the world. But here we're all about the Oscars.
Yeah, I feel like they're just always overshadowed by the Oscars.
Yeah.
We got some nominees. I'll just read some of them, I guess. I don't know.
Sure.
Best Motion Picture for Drama, we have The Father, Mank, Nomadland, Promising Young Woman, and The Trial of the Chicago 7. Best Performance by an Actress in a Motion Picture for Drama, we have Viola Davis, Andrea Day, Vanessa Kirby, Frances McDormand, and Carey Mulligan. Best Performance by an Actor in a Motion Picture, you got Riz Ahmed, you had Chadwick Boseman, Anthony Hopkins, Gary Oldman, and Tahar Rahim. I'm very sorry if I butchered that name. And Best Motion Picture, Musical or Comedy, yeah, Borat, Hamilton, Music.
Okay.
A musical, I guess, just called Music.
I don't know.
Yeah, Palm Springs, you got The Prom. You got the comedy, Best Actress, Maria Balkova, Kate Hudson, Michelle Pfeiffer, Rosamund Pike, and Anya Taylor-Joy. And yeah, Best Performance by an Actor in a Musical or Comedy, Sacha Baron Cohen, James Corden. Why the fuck did they nominate James Corden?
I don't know.
Lin-Manuel
He was great
Miranda.
in Cats.
Lin-Manuel Miranda, he was the best part of that movie, for sure. Definitely. Absolutely. I'm not scarred.
No.
Dev Patel, and also Andy Samberg. Also the animated category. They got The Croods, A New Age.
Okay,
You have
great.
Onward, Over the Moon, Soul, and Wolfwalkers. So actually a pretty decent selection. It's probably gonna be Soul. I don't think
Soul.
it's gonna
Soul's so good.
Soul's really good. Wolfwalkers is also supposed to be great, but it's on Apple TV, so no one's seen it.
Yep.
Foreign language pictures. You got Another Round. La Llorona. Was that? Is this the film? One sec. I have to check if this is the film.
I haven't heard of this film.
Did I spell that wrong? I might have spelled it wrong. I remember this film because if I remember correctly, it's like a shitty horror movie.
La Verona?
La Llorona.
Llorona.
Llorona. It's double L.
Okay.
I haven't done Spanish in
La
a while,
Llorona.
so I can't.
Oh, now I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. Did I spell it right? La Llorona, more like La Corona.
I do think I remember trailers though. Oh, where?
Oh no, maybe okay. Never mind. Different film.
Okay.
It is the film I was thinking was called The Curse of La Llorona.
Oh yeah.
So okay. I'm glad it is not that. We also got The Life Ahead, Minari, and Two of Us. And there's other stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. Some cool movies in there.
Trent Reznor and Atticus Ross are nominated twice for Mank and Soul.
Yeah. They make good movie soundtracks.
They do. They nominated Ludwig Göransson for Tenet, which I don't know about that, guys. I mean, I guess the soundtrack's the only part of the film, so yeah. Cool. Golden Globes. Yeah. And then finally, in movie news, unfortunately, Christopher Plummer has passed away, starring, in The Sound of Music, and also, most recently in not Inside Out, Knives Out.
Yep.
Yeah, pretty unfortunate.
Very.
And yeah, that's it for the news. That was the news. Thank you for listening to the news. Anyway, next up in the episode is the album, where we talk about an album that was chosen. This week, I chose "The Orc" by the OCs. Yeah.
OCs, also known as like 20 other names. They change their name like every couple of years. I think they were just OCs when they released this record, with two words OCs, not one word OCs, which I think they are now.
Yeah, it's it's really confusing. I'd appreciate if they stopped doing that.
It's just their thing. I don't know.
I mean, they are a pretty out there band. They're like psychedelic garage noise rock, yeah, in that kind of style.
Yep. If anybody doesn't know and has heard of like Ty Segall, I guess like Ty Segall is a pretty close comparison. Who actually worked on the production of this album. He's a producer for it.
Oh yeah, he is.
He sure is.
Yeah.
Ty Segall's cool. Also a guy that just makes a ton of music, just like the OCs.
Yeah. This album is their 19th studio album. Jesus Christ. How many? I gotta check how many they have now.
I think they're 27? They came out with like 3 last year, I know that.
Where is the discography page? Can I just Wikipedia why? Okay, here we go. They have 23 studio albums, 2 live albums, 4 compilation albums, 8 EPs, 13 singles, and 13 music videos.
Yeah. That's a lot of music.
That's a lot of music. Jesus Christ. They've been around since like the late 90s. Late 90s is when they were formed.
Yeah, didn't release an album until 2003, though.
Yeah. Jesus Christ, that's so much. That's like an 18-year period, and they've released more than an album per year.
Yep.
Goddamn. Yeah.
Yeah, it's cool that the label lets them do that, and also they have that kind of like chemistry during recording that whole process.
Yeah,
it's pretty sweet. The band has seen like some significant lineup changes, although that's usually with like drummers coming and going. Core members have only changed like a little bit over the years. But yeah, this album right here, this album Orc,
yeah,
pretty good.
Yeah, it's a pretty cool, kind of wild, catchy psychedelic rock record.
Yeah, it's got. It's kind of weird because, where you say catchy, because some of the songs like actually have like more lyrics and stuff than others, like Animated Violence, for example, is one of the more lyrical ones. I like definitely really enjoy that song. There's also songs here that are just very like atmospheric, plenty that are just instrumentals, which is cool. There's a bunch of like psychedelic, noisy rock stuff going on. Yeah.
It's like that's kind of this album. Is like, it's cool.
It's cool. I don't know. I think it can get like a little bit samey at points.
Yeah. I think there's some songs that kind of go on too long with their atmospheric feel. Like Keys to the Castle for me is like could have been cut down a bit.
Yeah. There's like the first couple minutes of that track are like pretty cool, and then there's like 5 more minutes, and it's like yeah.
It's gonna be honest, I don't have that much to say on this record. It's cool.
I mean, I can talk more about that. For me, also the last 2 tracks, Drown Beasts and Raw Optics, are too much atmosphere and not enough substance, really. But for the most part, like I think a lot of these tracks are like really fun. Like I said, Animated Violence, I think it's probably my favorite track off the album. It's really, really kind of crazy and wild. I like that. Also, Cadaver Dog, big fan of that track.
I would just say I'm personally a fan of the Static God, the opener. I really love just a fucking blaring guitar riff that they come out with. And a super catchy hook too.
Yep.
But yeah, it's like cool.
It is cool.
Probably spend more time talking about the background of the OCs than the actual album so far.
Well, I'm trying to find more points to say about this album.
Yeah.
To be fair, the band does have like an interesting background though.
Yeah.
Why did you choose this album?
I don't know. I don't actually remember what I was listening to at the time. Let me check. I don't really know.
All right.
I was kind of in for something kind of noisy, catchy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, this has all that stuff.
Yeah. I think I was listening to like some kind of noise rock-esque stuff at the time. I was listening to the Palm Poker record. That's why.
Oh yeah.
And I was like, the OCs. Let's take a little dive into some of their stuff because they're kind of similar.
They are.
Yeah.
That new Palm Poker record, solid.
Yeah, go listen to the Palm Poker record. It's pretty fantastic. It's great. Go listen.
Joe really likes this.
I
new Palm
really
Poker
love it.
record.
It's like so fucking catchy. Oh my god, the vocals work so fucking well. With it, like it reminds me a lot of like Melt Banana with how like the vocals just like work with the noise of the record. But yeah,
there's a deep dive we could do. I just
Melt Banana, yeah.
Fetch.
Fetch is really good.
Fetch is really good. Go check out Fetch by Melt Banana.
Yeah.
Also, really cool cover art on that album.
Yeah.
Like, maybe one of my favorite cover arts, honestly.
Mm.
I don't know. There's lots of really good cover art. Unlike this album.
Do you think this album has bad cover art?
I kind of do. I'm not
Really?
a fan.
It's
It's like
cool.
the simple orange-green gradient with like a...
Yeah, there's just like a little orc. He's like peeking up over the side. It looks cool. I like it.
I
think
know.
it works well with the style of the record.
I think it could have been a bit more explosive. I don't know, a little bit more out there. Like, you know, some of the OC's album covers, like Panther Rotate, like that stuff. Also Drop. I really love the Drop album cover.
Really? The Panther Rotate album cover?
That one? Yeah.
I don't know.
Look at that.
It's just a cat's asshole.
and his balls. Well, no, I like the colors and
it's
stuff
like
that.
pretty. I don't know. It's a little bit busy.
I don't know. I think that works well for like their style though. Whereas this is like just too simple.
I don't know. I like the simplicity.
Okay.
Yeah.
Their album covers are literally all over the place.
I know. It's weird. It's like they're all over the place, but they kind of feel like consistent in a way.
Yeah.
I think maybe it's just because they're noise rock and psychedelic rock and stuff.
Mm-hmm. They can do whatever they want.
Yeah.
Are they Australian? Like all good psychedelic rock bands? No, they're San Francisco. Okay.
Mm.
Wow. Good job not being from Australia.
Damn.
It's tough.
Yeah, I know.
Psychedelic rock, not from Australia.
Mm.
You gotta compete with King Gizzard and Tropical Fuckstorm and other people that I'm forgetting right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh man, maybe we should have chosen Nonagon Infinity. Anyway.
Oh. That'd be a fun one.
Really good. Ooh. Anyway, I feel like we've like barely talked about the album, but like it's like good. Go listen to it. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's like fun.
If you're into psychedelic stuff, check it out. If you're into noisy stuff, check it out. I think it has, I think it's worth a listen. Definitely. Yeah.
It's got a lot of good stuff going for it. Definitely maybe a bit bloated for some of the tracks, but yeah. Do you want to do ratings, I guess?
Sure.
Yeah, all right. The work by the OCs, I give it like a 7.5, maybe an 8. I think probably 7.5 though. It's a good record.
Yeah, I'm at like a 7 on this. It's very strong 7 though. Like definitely solid on it. Couple tracks like I'll keep listening to, but there's definitely some slack in its 50-minute runtime.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that was the album.
That was the album.
There you go. That was pretty quick.
Wow. That was pretty quick. Just an album that like it's not that like substantive, so
yeah.
Ooh, twirly mustache. Let's go.
Ooh. Yeah, let's go. Speaking of mustaches, let's move on to the movie for today.
Let's go. The mustaches are so good.
Yeah, so the movie is Battleship Potemkin.
Yep.
This is it's directed by Sergei Eisenstein. Eisenstein. There we go. This is a Russian Soviet film.
You can't call it a propaganda film.
It's a propaganda film.
Yeah.
It's from 1925, I believe.
1925, 1926.
And And yeah, it's generally considered one of the most influential films of all time. I believe mainly for its use of montage.
Yeah, well, I guess we'll talk about this, but yeah, this film was like technically very impressive for the time.
Yeah,
and definitely kind of ahead of its time in that regard.
Yeah, it's pretty interesting how they like. I was looking into it more, and basically the director was like he wanted specifically to use montage to elicit an emotional response from the audience, because I mean it is a propaganda film, but it's kind of good fucking mustaches. So
I mean they're Russians; they better have good mustaches. That's all they're good for.
Yeah, I guess we'll say spoilers for Battleship Potemkin.
Well, I don't know. The plot doesn't really matter. The thing about this, you can argue that it's more than a propaganda film, but I kind of find that argument a little bit difficult to tell. The plot is very much like one-dimensional. There aren't that many characters, and the characters that are there are also just one-dimensional. There's like a very solid line between good guys and bad guys.
It's mainly the sequences and the way the characters are used are, again, to elicit an emotional response from the audience, not be like it's not an interesting character study or some shit.
No, and like it's about like I guess a proletariat revolution, specifically the Russian Revolution. But like as far as like adding to, it doesn't like really say anything about that hasn't. It doesn't have anything novel to add to that kind of I guess idea. It more just looks at it. It looks at historical events, sort of through the victor's lens, really, and it's really cool. Like as far as like even just being a propaganda film, like this is still a really good film.
Yeah, there's a ton of technical stuff in this film that is like insanely impressive. There's multiple shots where the camera like moves along like the staircase or whatever, and I was like, what the fuck, how'd they do that?
It's really incredible, like the camera movement, all the cuts. Like I can't imagine how much time that must have taken. Because that is like cutting back in the day is time intensive, and also they had to shoot so much. And they had the cooperation of literally an entire city for filming. They shot in Odessa, and they had a ton of people on the shoot, which is for the time that was like not done.
Yeah, the scale of everything is incredibly impressive. Like literally hundreds, maybe thousands of extras in certain shots, and it's just like holy shit. Very very cool that they were able to do that. Yeah.
And yeah, the technical side of this is probably the most impressive part of it. I want to point out like the actual content of the film. Most of it is like kind of it's pretty standard. There is part 4, the Odessa Steps, I think it's called. That for me, that is where the film culminates in eliciting that emotional response that it wants. There's this very powerful part of the movie of the citizens of Odessa are kind of rallying behind the battleships and their proletariat revolution, and they're rallying behind there, and then the Russian military comes in and starts firing on the people who are just they're not even like being violent, they're just being happy, like supporting the battleship, and they're firing them as they run down the steps, and it's a very powerful scene, which like definitely really really well done, really well shot. There's a lot of the actors there are actually, there's a lot of great emotion, and like I feel like a lot of silent films have kind of the problem where they feel like over dramatic, kind of like plays, and that's because they very much were very similar to plays. And this like barely has that, in my opinion. Like, it's still kind of there. It's very kind of larger than life at some points, but there's a lot of subtlety to it, I think, as well, which again, like, ahead of its time in that regard, I'd say.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, it does. Yeah, it does a good job. Does it good. There you go. There's my analysis.
It good.
Watch out, the film professors. I'm coming through.
For years, this film has been taught in Film Theory 101. Now you can just watch this video and know all about it.
This film is, it's... I'm trying to think of a joke. I was going to be like, this film is actually about the fans of... This film is actually a metaphor for the fans of the Zack Snyder universe rising up and taking on the oppressive WB studios so they can get their Snyder cut.
They're getting the Snyder cut, though.
Yeah, but it's about the revolution that happened, and they rose up, you know?
That's true. Yeah. Definitely. It's about the revolution. Let's go.
Yeah.
I doubt this movie is inciting revolution in anybody in this day.
Probably not.
Damn. Why can't the
Parasite
sailors on Battleship?
Okay.
We do have Parasite. It's Elon Musk's favorite movie.
Yeah. Yo, shoutouts to Chrissy Teigen. Oh, man. Rich people liking Parasite is like the funniest thing.
It really
Just
is.
like, I wonder who that's for.
Guys. Elon Musk. We shouldn't talk about this. Anyways.
Wait, no. You say what you're going to say.
Weird dude. That's what I'm going to say.
Yo. He's the king of the memes. Haven't you seen his funny memes on Twitter? Here, I'm gonna go and read one.
No. Why are you doing this?
This is a really funny one. You'll see. Holy shit, he has 46 million followers. What the fuck?
Yeah, he's the richest person in the world. He's a famous internet icon, like. Yo, why does Sergei Eisenstein look like the guy from Eraserhead?
Why does what?
Look at Sergei Eisenstein, like a photo of him. He looks like the guy from Eraserhead.
Fuck, I get his photo of him. Not really. Like, he looked crazy. Here, we have this really cool meme from Elon where he said this man, and there's a picture of a man, and then there's a plus symbol, and there's DeLorean, and there's a picture of DeLorean, and then there's an equal symbol, and it's Mandalorian. And his tweet says, "Must protect Yoda."
Oh, okay.
He is the king of comedy. Yo, I want a King of Comedy remake starring Elon Musk, and it's him posting memes. Actually, a Joker remake. With him. Okay, and he goes to a stand-up comedy club, and he puts that on the screen, but everyone laughs because he's the master of comedy. Anyway, yeah, Battleship Potemkin, good film.
It really is. Well it's made. Yeah. It's a silent film, and there's really not that much dialogue even for like a silent film.
Yeah, you can follow it pretty easily.
Yeah. The music choice, very, very nice, very fitting, I find.
There's actually some tracks I really enjoy. The track that plays when after the Odessa Steps sequence plays, when you're back on the ship, it's really well done. Got cool soundtrack. It got good propaganda.
It is good propaganda, honestly. If I was in the Soviet Union in 1925, I would love this film.
Yeah. I think some interesting things to talk about it. I mean, certainly its influence outside of just it being a film. Because you have its use of montage, again, to create like more emotionally responsive sequences, which are pretty interesting. I mean, the entire Odessa Steps sequence is like gorgeous, and it's like really impressive. It was also, I believe it was banned in a lot of places, and a lot of it, to my knowledge, it wasn't actually for or due to the like propaganda in the film necessarily. I mean, I'm certain that's like a factor. Oh, beep beep.
Beep beep, don't worry about it.
But there was I guess concerns over how violent it was.
Yeah.
Which is pretty interesting. I guess the violence is like it's there. It's not super brutal to me.
No. I'm sure for the time it was much more brutal though. I don't know. Old movies like are sometimes weirdly brutal. It's weird.
I don't really know.
I don't know. It depends, cause like some movies like they're totally fine with like cowboy movies, people getting shot and stuff, but there are other times where it's like the action sequences are very like kind of personal. Like I had this weird thing when I was watching Les Vampires by oh fuck, what's the dude's name? I'm forgetting. He's famous. Les Vampires, 1915, 1916, like famous 10-part film. And like in one scene, this dude just gets like stabbed to death and thrown out of a train. And like I was kind of taken aback at that level of like brutality. But yeah, this one it does get kind of graphic. There's quite a bit of fake blood used, which is or maybe it's real blood, who knows. Which I would probably contribute to that sentiment that it's too violent, but I don't know. By today's standard, this pretty all right. Like still the scene of the massacre is still pretty like I find it kind of brutal, definitely, but that's more of just the
portrayal of it.
Yeah, based on what's going on rather than the actual like people are dying. Oh no.
Yeah.
By the way, the Odessa Steps, like this, I believe the Potemkin like revolution, like that's a thing that actually happened. The Odessa Steps is not a thing that actually happened.
It's not. Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting. Do you know if the sequence at the end actually happened? Because the ending sequence of the film is basically the Potemkin sailing, and it's like it's not sure if it's going to get through the other ships, and at the very end they all put up flags signaling their allies are peaceful.
I'm not sure. Yeah. Not sure.
Yeah.
It's possible. I just know the actual Odessa stuff thing didn't happen, but like similar things happened across Russia at the time, just not specifically that.
There's also, I guess I also want to talk about the first sequences in the film with the meat has maggots crawling all over it.
You don't like that?
It's a bit too much. That was like actually like very revolting. Which, I mean, it's successful in what it does.
Oh.
The meat is revolting.
See, I don't mind that, kind of crunchy.
He likes some crunch with his meat.
It's good protein.
No, you're eating meat already. What?
Nah. I actually don't like maggots. I used to have geckos as a kid, and you had to feed them maggots. I hated that. I couldn't do it.
Oh, damn.
Yeah. Anyways, want to hop into some scores?
Yeah, sure.
All right. I'll go first. It was me who recommended this movie because I'm like, it's a classic and I should see it, I guess. So then I saw it, and yeah, I understand why it's a classic. Like the editing techniques, the technical aspect of this movie, very, very interesting. And that definitely pulls like a lot of weight. I definitely think like everybody should see this movie, or at least the Odessa step sequence, just to get a feel for the kind of things that are happening in this movie. However, it does kind of just scream propaganda film throughout the entire movie, and that's like I'm not like attached to this film in any way. It doesn't really make me like care too much about it. Because of that, I don't know. It's still like really good. I would definitely recommend it. Again, technical marvel, like 8 out of 10 though.
Yeah, it's it's technically it's kind of super impressive. It's really well shot most of the time.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's a great film. It's not like one of my favorites or anything. Like it's definitely I'd say there's sequences that kind of drag a bit. And I mean, but yeah, I mean for the time, absolutely revolutionary. I enjoyed it a lot. I'd give it an 8 out of 10.
Yeah.
Good, great film. Yeah.
Wow. And what do we have coming up next week?
Next week, oh boy, we got some cool stuff for next week on the podcast. Maybe, I don't know. We got the album for next week is going to be Mixed Feelings by Limbo, who is a producer who I know nothing about. And then we got the movie for next week is My Bloody Valentine, which is directed by someone.
Yeah, let's go. You did the thing that I always do, where I forget to look up the director.
I'm looking up the director right now. You got it. It's directed by George Mihalka.
Let's go.
Mihalka. Yeah. It's a Valentine's Day special. You're gonna sit back, relax with your partner, and
watch My Bloody Valentine.
To people talk about movies.
Yep.
Very productive use of your time.
Guests. Yep. Please.
Yeah.
We need like 3,000 watch hours or something before we can get monetized. So just play the podcasts.
Yeah, do it.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, that's it for the show today. Thanks for watching, I guess, or listening, or whatever the fuck. Who gives a shit?
What an outro.
Go, I don't know, man. Go watch Battleship Potemkin. Listen to work. Go.
That's all this podcast is.
Live your life. Go have
Just
fun.
End it. Just end. Good night.
No.